Hi my friends, welcome to the Diamond Painting Effect with Cori. I'm here today with another Stitch with Me. Today I'm going to start another one of my kits that I've gotten the last week. I've gotten, gotten lots of kits. So I want to work on this one, the one of the cats on the bookshelf. This one has been calling me like the bird was calling me. And so I would like to start this one today, and real quickly I'm going to go over with what I've been up to before I get into that. On the pedigree of the honey, I am really kind of excited about this one because I finished gridding the whole thing up. And I happen to have, I don't know if I have enough, but I happen to have all but 3 of the colors. And so I'm excited about that. I got it completely, and I made the effort to mark the center spot and almost immediately noticed that it is not the center spot. It is the center this way, but it's not the center this way. That's okay, I'll just mark it over here in this part. But here's all the colors. I was able to pull them out, and I think it's going to end up being a pretty color. I thought it was kind of very brownish, greenish colors, which is true, those colors are there, but there are also some pretty pastel and brighter colors in there. So I'm happy about that. So there's only 3 colors missing, and that's pretty exciting that I was able to put that together like that. And so I'll probably be starting on this one soon. I probably will never do a floss tube, formal floss tube, simply because this is what I do. I'll show you what I'm doing as I do it, and that's how that's going to work. I'll pull it out and you'll see it when I work on it. And the other thing I've been working on is the bird that I showed you guys yesterday. I was trying frantically. I didn't sew on it exclusively, so I didn't get a whole lot done on it. But I did spend a bit of time on it. I just want to see if it's going to give that. There's kind of an ethereal glow on it, and I was wondering how much of that is going to come through. And you guys, I'm kind of impressed. I don't know if you can see, I've been working on specifically on the bird's head. I thought that was a good focal point, and it's kind of, I've mostly got a lot of blues in here, and there's lavenders that are in the background for the graying areas, but I think that's really pretty how they gradually made those colors go out and away. And what I'll do is I'll show you from the back side my progress. So that's how much I've gotten done of the bird. What I did was, sometimes if I still had thread left after I finished in this area, I would go finish my thread somewhere else. So that's my bird. I'm happy with it. I don't think it's going to have quite the ethereal, I don't know how to say that word, ethereal look that picture has, but I think it's going to be a pretty picture. I really do. So I'm hopeful about that. So that's my progress on that. And I've been working on my teacups again. And I found a way that worked so I wasn't continually lost as I worked on the project. And I'll put the picture right there beside it. Try to do them side by side. I don't know if I'll succeed, but here, I'll just show it to you. So I'm working on the bird. I did have a hard time with his tail and whatnot. Because, well, I guess it's the swing area. It had two colors of dark brown and black. I guess there's three colors there that are so similar that it was hard for me to get that count. Let's see here. I'll do it like this. There. So that's my progress on my teacups. It still looks kind of cryptic, but you can see that bird starting to come to life, and this is another one I'm happy about. I'm sure that those colors aren't exactly right, and all those browns, simply because I couldn't tell the color differences. It was rough for me to count, but I do have the basic shape of the bird there. So those are some of the projects I've been working on. I haven't worked on my diamond painting in a little bit. It's just a matter of getting it out that would motivate me to get that done. And I'm going to pause it. I'll be right back. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start on this color number 16. And color the number 16 in this kit is actually $9.39, which, as we know, is a very dark blue. It's almost black. This whole area is dark blue colors, and this is here. I'll show you the picture. So that shows a lighter blue there, but it is a dark blue color that's up there in that corner. So the colors may not be exactly true, but we'll see how this goes. So this cross stitch is an 11 count, and I'm going to sew it with 2 threads instead of the recommended 3 threads. There's 2 reasons I do that. One is I have a habit of losing my not having enough thread, so I hate that. So that helps make sure I get enough thread. And the other reason is I don't like the bulky look that it has when you do 3 strands, and also when you start having to fill in tight areas, it's harder to see because the thread is so bulky. And so that's one of the reasons why I do it that way. So this is 60 by 50 centimeters, and I got it from VIP Cross Stitch, and it cost $11.18 at the time I got it. And I got this on March 17th. And I really am surprised that that's all the longer it's been here, because that has been calling me, been wanting to start it, and I've been really anxious to do that. I'm gonna just scrunch it up a bit so to loosen this fabric up. The fabric from this company does loosen up really well. It actually starts draping after a while of working on it. So it is not serged. That's one thing I don't like about these type of kits. I wish they would do that for us. Everybody's in a different situation into how difficult it is for them to get their edges serged or taped or sewn or whatever it is you do to. Usually what I do is I do nothing, and then when the threads start coming out of it, that's when I'll finally break down and I'll pull out a piece of thread and do a blanket stitch around it. So I was really lucky today. I actually had a lot of stitching time with not so many interruptions, which is rarely happens. I was gonna drive Simon to a town, well, not to a town, but to an area that's about probably a half hour from here. And I think they were going to do some work for somebody over there. But since yesterday was so rainy and wet, I think that's why they canceled. But they called me last night to cancel that they weren't going to be going over there. So I'm just making an assumption it was because of the rain. Watch out, here comes Gunther. Hey Gunther, please don't knock the phone over. I just have the phone resting on a little beam that folds down across my chair. I don't have any fancy equipment. And he's insisting on coming over. Trying to get him to go back to the... There we go. I think he's gonna settle. Come on, Gunther. Anyway, so they called me and canceled, which was fine with me. I don't mind helping them out, but it does disrupt my stitching. So Gunther, don't eat my 8 o'clock. Don't eat it. Do you guys have cats that like to eat stuff? I'm telling you, this cat, he eats paper, he eats cardboard, he eats any flat thing that can flap or move. He wants to chew on it. And I have more trouble keeping stuff safe from this cat than I do from keeping it from the dog. I have 3 dogs, and these cats, mostly Gunther, but Persephone helps also. They destroy more things than my dogs ever did. Yeah. I still haven't finished an 11 count stamped cross stitch kit yet. I think all the ones I've managed to finish were on the 14 count. So I still don't know if I'm going to like them with the 2 threads after I get them washed up and everything. Because the background does peek through. And I just have no idea how I'm going to like it when all that background is washed away. You'd think that would make me get busy and finish one, but no, I just keep starting some more. And I don't know what it is about the fact that it's not that much different, but for some reason, some of you may know, you stitch and stitch and stitch, and finally you just get to a point where you want to stitch on something else. So I'll put it away and get out something else and stitch on it. Some days I will stitch on the same thing all day, and some days I will stitch on 10 different things. But right now I'm trying to do some on my nativity and some on my counted cross stitch. That counted cross stitch, it blew my day. Oh, it just blew my day away. When I'm doing this kind of stitching, I can do it passively. So I guess if you understand what I mean, it's like it doesn't take any concentration. And I can just stitch and I can watch TV, I can listen to things, I can talk to people on the phone. And you know, as the day goes on, you know, I can still be stitching. But when I got into that counted cross stitch today, and I could not believe it. When I got hungry for lunch, and I went into the kitchen, and I saw that it was 3:45. I was like, what? I think I worked on that cross stitch for like 6 hours, and I thought it had only been a couple hours. I was like, whoa, that's a time sucker. That sucked up a lot of time without me even knowing it. I kind of feel gypped. I feel like my day got taken away, but I really did enjoy it. That's the reality of it. I was just so into it that I didn't even notice time passing. So I cooked. The only cooking I did for Dwayne and I today was I made some French toast for Dwayne, and told him he was on his own the rest of the day. I had leftovers from the tacos. He took some of the leftover taco stuff home yesterday, so I don't know if he had it or not, but I ate the leftover tacos for lunch, and it was a late lunch, so I couldn't really muster it up to get ready for dinner when it was time for dinner. So I was able to catch up on videos, on watching some videos. I always feel like there's so many I want to watch. It's hard for me to do it. So, and the thing of it is, when I watch a video, I like to watch the video. I don't like to just pretend like I was there. I wanna watch the video. Sometimes that happens while I'm up around doing things, and so a lot of people get credited for 2 videos from me, get watched twice because I'm up and around and I didn't get to make a comment. So I have to come back and play it over again so I can write a comment. I don't always leave a comment, but I try to. Like, there's some that are, you know, like really big people. I don't comment on theirs. They got enough comments. They don't need another one. Isn't that horrible? But, you know, like, when I say really big, I mean like really big. Like Natalia, Lovecraft Forever. I think she's got so many people who comment and stuff. She doesn't need me to comment. I don't say I never comment, but I don't feel like I need to support her that way because she does have support. It looks like soon I'm going to have I'm going to have a bunch of counted cross stitch patterns going, where I went from almost none to, I'm going to have a bunch, because there's another one I'm going to start. I want to do the stitch along with Crafting with Orchid, Heidi. I want to do that Christmas winter, I think it's called Winter Teapots is what it's called, by La Petite. I think we're starting that on the 27th. I need to find out. I think it's going to be a very loosely done stitch along. I don't know how it's going to work. But I know that I don't even know how they all work, really, but we're just going to work on it at the same time. It's not going to be work on this part, work on that part. It's just where we're just all working on it. I don't know how many are in that stitch along. I hope, Heidi, if you're watching, if there's a group I need to join, or if you want more people to join, let me know. She does beautiful kits. She does a lot of Luca S kits that they're beautiful. They're full coverage pictures on, I don't know what count they are, but they may be, they're beautiful. That's all I know. And she's done several Christmas ones, and they're it looks to me like they're like 18 count kits. I used to think that the kits were kind of expensive, but I began to understand that by the time you put a kit like that together, you'll probably spend close to that much anyway, and then you have the work of putting that kit together. So I don't begrudge the kits that much. I do want to, I would like to do one of those Luca S someday. So another idea I've had is like for one of these 11 count stitches that I've been doing, if I find one that turns out nice, that I'm really happy with it, maybe kitting that up, because I'll have the pattern, kitting that up and do it on like a 18 count, and or even smaller, and see how they compare them, see how they shape up. So then they'll be smaller, but like, will the charting of it all make the detail come out better or not? That's what I don't know. I know a lot of it has to do with the charting. Like 25 colors that are in these big, huge kits really isn't very many colors for very much detail. And you know, some of those kits have like 90 colors from Heaven and Earth Designs. That's probably a low number. So, and I'm just rambling away here. And I don't know what's in store for tomorrow's Stitch Along, Stitch with Me. I don't know if I'll pull out a new one or not. I'm starting to feel the pressure of having so many whips. But there's still, the one that's crying at me right now is the well, there's two. It's the Pedigree of Honey is calling me, and also that Harry Potter shadow box is calling me, so I don't know. I'll probably start one of those tomorrow, maybe both. Um, and maybe one of them will be in my stitch with me tomorrow. So, thank you for joining me, and I'm so happy you came, and so happy you listened for a little while, and I hope you got some of your stitching done, and come back tomorrow. I'll be here.